Paige here, the 1 Foot Flipper. Today we're going to look at the sell-through rates of the ladies of YouTube reselling. Stay tuned.
1 Foot Flipper.
Hi, how's it going? Paige here, the 1 Foot Flipper. How's everybody doing? I'm doing okay, but I've got a little bit of egg on my face though, I think, because, oh, do I have egg on my face? Maybe I do. I made a video about sell-through rates of various YouTube channels, eBay stores, and somehow I didn't end up with any women's stores in the list. It wasn't on purpose. There were a few I actually specifically didn't use after I ran their numbers. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then there's multiple that I ended up getting cut because I ran their numbers at the end. But at the end, I wasn't looking for more middle of the road people. I was looking for more outliers, and they weren't coming up, and they were coming up in the middle. So they ended up getting dropped because I had already had enough people who were middle of the road. So I'm fixing that today. Today's video is going to be female YouTube channels and the eBay store sell-through rates. Here's how I do it. You take the number of items they have available. Then you click to sold items. Divide that number of items available by the number of items sold. And then you're going to multiply that number by 3. Why you're multiplying it by 3 is because your eBay sold history shows 3 months of sold history. And we want that number in months, so we're multiplying it by 3. And that tells you their sell-through rate in months. If they somehow manage to, without adding any new items, keep selling the same amount of items every month, that's how many months till they would run out of stuff. And there are other ways to calculate this metric. The important thing is that you just, in your own research, do it the same way every time. On my channel, it will always be that way. Other people might talk about it in a percentage or in some other manner, but that's the way I do it. All right, we're going to start off here with number 12. Oh, we're going to go from worst sell-through rate to best. And there are no numbers here. I don't know why I said number. We're going to start off with Bolo Buddies. They have a massive store that's extremely diverse, but they have a 65-month sell-through rate, which I'm not sure exactly why, but usually that sort of thing happens because of store rot. It happens because you're either not picking up good items in the first place, or you're never getting rid of poor items that never sell, or you have no markdown schedule. That's the sort of thing that can happen there. And now that we're past them, I'd like to say one thing I've extremely noticed in this entire list is the more focused on clothing selling the YouTuber was, the worse her sell-through rate was. Bolo Buddies is not a clothing specialist, but most everybody else down at the bottom of the list is. Next up, Common Tags. Tons of followers, 1,000-item store, almost all clothes, but 53-month sell-through rate, and only really sells about 1 item every 2 days. Oh, there's going to be a few people that specifically you might be expecting to see on this list, but you won't. There are some lady YouTube resellers who have 6-figure number of viewers, but their entire business is really based around viewer sales. They buy nothing but viewer sale items for the most part. Their prices are well above market, and they have ridiculously fast sell-through rates, and I don't feel like it's fair to compare those people against people who have more traditional, normal stores and aren't just either trying to sell things to their viewers or accidentally ended up that way. I don't feel bad about it. You know, I'm not mad at you if that's your business model. Good for you, but I'm not going to compare somebody who sells everything they sell 50% above market and their viewers buy it all to somebody else who's really out there just doing it the normal way. Next up, Rachel Strickland. She has a 1,200-item store, heavily into clothes, 40-month sell-through rate. So 3.5 years there for the average item to sell. All right, let's look at a few sales. I shipped last night without filming because I didn't have much to ship, so we'll just toss it all up on the screen here. Cherish Teddy's Little Bo Peep, $4.18. A Warhammer piece, an Eldar Night Spinner turret gun, $9.99. A lot of 2 untested Polaroids, $22.85. A Warhammer Metal Skaven Champion figure, painted, $13.49. a Q4 Death Pile Monster, purchased, it's a viewer sale here, purchased by Minnesota Mom Finds. Thank you so much. I'll put a link to their store down in the description. And a Gans Balloon Snowman ornament with the name Marin on it. All right, let's get into today's actual sales. Sold one of my last remaining gourds, $11.17 plus shipping. If you've been eyeing these things, there's only a few left. CD case hit $14.54. Note, this sold for more money than the CDs inside the case sold for, because I bought this full of CDs. I have to put this up on the screen. It's already packaged. I sold a Wild Western Barn Scene oil painting on unstretched canvas for $22.86. I'll put this up on the screen too because it's a lot. It is an unused baby scrapbook with a bunch of scrapbooking materials. Perfect for grandma or mom scrapbooking that new baby. Roger Hudson. In the eye of the storm, $2.95. I'm going to be lotting up a lot of my low dollar records here soon. So if you were wanting to, remember, I do combine shipping on my records. So if you want to go plow through a bunch of $2 and $3 records together and get them all combined ship, I will do that for you. Sold a Pokemon Ultimate Christmas Package, $25. Put a picture up on the screen. I have sold 8 of these. I have 17 of them left. So don't wait till Christmas because they will be gone. I sold a Gans Sledding Snowman. It's supposed to say Riley. It doesn't say Riley, so we're going to have to make it say Riley. I've had... This is multiple of these issues where the ones with the names already on them seem to be disappearing. I wonder if I had some sort of issue when I imported, because I imported all of my ornament listings from one account to another via 3D Sellers. And I wonder if that created a problem there. I have once again been contacted by Vendu wanting to sponsor me, wanting me to be involved with their company, wanting to be involved with my channel, but the only thing is I don't cross-list. I preach against cross-listing. I think you should spend your time getting good at one thing, that you'll be better off that way, instead of splitting your time. And for a big full-time seller with a store like me, I'm going to put 1,600 items onto multiple websites. The cost of the subscription for that alone is pretty darn high. So, yeah, I'm not selling out, people. I'm not going to put out ads for things that I wouldn't use myself. And that's why there are still no sponsors yet. I have everybody who's approached me for a sponsorship is either a product I would not use or was completely unrelated to the channel. And I don't want to be like that either. I'm not going to go tell you to play Raid Shadow Legends or something like that. Not going to do it. Matter of fact, I might even bleep out the name of what I just said. All right, back to whatever it is. Then our next up, Lori Tata. Tons of followers on YouTube. 1,000 item store, mostly focused on clothes and dolls. 37-month sell-through rate, just over 3 years. Then coming in, number 10, Becky Park. An all-clothing store, and she's very popular on YouTube. She has a 36-month sell-through rate, right at 3 years. So if Becky puts a new piece of clothing into her store, she can expect it to sell 3 years from the date she puts it into the store. Then coming up next, Kat the Nurse Flipper, also tons of followers. She has a 6,000 item store that's extremely diverse. And she has a 22.5-month sell-through rate, which honestly is not that bad for a store that size. The larger the store, generally the slower your sell-through rate is, because if everything you had in your store was the best thing in the world, your store would never get that big in the first place. But seems like she's doing fine. Well, I'm back to getting nothing done again because I can't move between the Pokemon lot I bought, which really isn't all that big, and stuff getting brought down from the van. That really made a problem. But then my wife brought down about 8 loads of laundry and didn't do them. And not that she has to do the laundry, but there were so many of them that I can't get to the laundry room to do it either. And it has completely hamstrung me pretty much all week. I cannot move without moving laundry baskets around. It is not fun. I actually don't mind doing all the laundry, but there can't be more than 2 baskets down here, or else there's no place to put them. And there's 8 down here right now. Isn't that fun? Let's look at a few sales. Sold a record album, Bugs Henderson Group, At Last, $8.46. Thelma Houston, I've Got the Music in Me, $15.70. A couple of actual decent records for a change. Here's something pretty unbelievable. I sold an unbranded porcelain doll in less than a month, not promoted, $12.99 plus shipping. What else do we got? Sold a piece of train track to somebody who's going to pick up his $4 purchase in person. Sold a couple of replacement pieces to a Star Wars board game. I'm not even going to put them up on the screen. It's not worth it. $4.42. I had actually yesterday almost took those down, but I left them up and they sold. Sold a couple of jingling snowman ornaments to viewers Casey and Mike. We have never missed an episode, and we've watched you since the beginning. They've got a nice store called Quaint Ventures. You can see a link to it down in the description. I sold a lot of 5 vintage young men's books. Secret Under Antarctica, Rip Foster Rides the Great Planet, Strange But True Baseball, Herb West Point Quarterback, and the Space Eagle. Sold for all of $7.75, but on their own, none of those books are sellable at a profit. Even though they're quite old, they still only sell for about $5 shipped each, and they cost $4 to ship. Sold a movie poster, Heavyweights, sold for $20. I'll throw it up on the screen because everybody says I'm too rough when I unroll the posters, and it is awkward to unroll them in front of the camera anyway. That came from the ADH Dave poster lot, which is now fully in the profit, eBay fees included. Sold this Kittens puzzle, $4.78. That had been in the store for a really long time. I bought that during the height of COVID when puzzles were going for much more. That probably started at $10 and got its way down to $4.78. It was actually not listed, and somebody messaged me from the ended listing. It was currently in my draft bank because my markdown, my draft schedule also tosses my my items I'm going to mark down into the draft bank. So I put it back up for the person, and they immediately bought it. Also sold this Waterworld movie poster up on the screen, $9.99. Also from the ADH Dave poster lot. Sold my last Sarah Angel Troll and Toad Cup playmat. I got all of $5.24 for this one. I think I got something like $12 for the other one. But I guess the people stopped caring. Sold this box of 88 game trivia cards, $3.59. The game that this comes out of is worthless because the game weighs multiple pounds, so it ends up selling for the cost of shipping. But you can just pull the cards out of here, and I just listed those as 80s trivia cards question box, and I've sold this. I've sold these twice now, between $3.59 and $4 each, and there are 2 boxes of them in each game. Not that you should go looking for that, but at least it would help fix a mistake if you accidentally bought the game. Ken Griffey Jr. Glove. This is a glove. A club is what you use in golf. Ken Griffey Jr., $15.70. I used to have a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card that was in the slab, and it had a grade of a 7. And I kept that around to remind me not to invest in collectibles, only to purchase them for resale, but don't expect them to ever go up. Somebody, I'm sure, spent a lot of money to get that card graded, and once thought it was worth a lot of money when it's really worth about $5. I think I eventually sold it for $5 or so. I sold these 2 little Warhammer Elder support platforms, $17.45 for the lot. All right, let's get back to it. Next up, Lavender Clothesline. Massive store, mostly all clothes, 21-month sell-through rate. Then we're going to move on to Lindsay Glenn. She has a 1,000 item store, and it appears to me to all be retail arbitrage. She had something like 970 new items and 23 used items when I looked at her store. And she's got a 20-month sell-through rate. I'm not sure if that's good or bad for brand new items, because I don't have a lot of... She's really one of the few stores I've ever looked at that's almost all brand new items. Normally, YouTubers don't have all new item stores. So she's kind of unique in that. If you know any other YouTubers who do have all new item stores, post them down in the comments. I'd love to examine those stores as a whole. Next up, Kaylee Elaine. 8,000 item store. Little bit diverse on the store. 14-month sell-through rate. However, Kaylee sells 19 items a day. She really is doing that daily refinement, 20 items a day thing. Seems like she's hitting that right down. Store's gotten pretty big, but still getting 19 per day. Pretty darn good. Okay, let's take a look at some of these weekend sales here. I sold this Trim-A-Home Hip Shakin' Santa for $31.99. I got this at $5 at a family-owned convenience store down the street that sometimes puts garage sale stuff out front. Got a couple other things there too at the same sale. That paid for everything that was there. I'll throw it up on the screen because it's already kind of wrapped. I sold a Pokemon lenticular poster that shows the different pictures as you move it around. $69. I have one of those left, so if you're eyeing those, that's it. There's one more, and you better get it or else it's gone. Sold a Warhammer Nurgle villain figure, $17.99. Santaland Christmas tree ornaments, 2 packs, $9.40. These took me a while to find. Somehow they were listed in a location that hasn't existed since last year, and I was looking for something much bigger than this when I was searching. Guess Who Littlest Pet Shop game, $6.64. This is one of Julie's old items that she has grown out of now. So, a little bit of money for Jules there. One of the last remaining gourds, $11.17. If you're eyeing them, they're almost gone. Jolly Jingle Snowman ornament. I'm going to put the name Tyler on this one. Get the ornaments now, people, so you can still get them in time to hang them on the tree. Pretend like I'm unrolling a giant Operation Dumbo Drop movie poster. Sold that for $10. Came from the ADH Dave poster buy, which is definitely in the profits now. Aladdin Stanley vintage thermos, $13.68. These are always worth picking up. They tend to sell in a rather wide price range. So this one took a while to sell. I think I started it up near 20 bucks. I sold these 5 little fantasy Blood Bowl Talisman Beastmen figures, $17.46. All right. To one customer, bought almost $200 worth of train stuff. Lots of track and timber trestles, a switch, a bridge. He bought them in 3 separate orders, but I had talked to him, and I'm going to try to get him a bit of a shipping refund at the end, at least, because that stuff is set up to combine shipping automatically, but he did pay the base shipping 3 times because he didn't buy it all at once. So I'll try to get him some money back. But I only do that if it says something in the listing or if I've talked to the customer. Otherwise, I'm not too worried about it. Sold a balloon snowman ornament with the name Harper already on it. We can get these with some names are already on it, some names we write. Order them now, people. I sold some Bachmann train parts. These are the wheels that go to a car. These are set up to pick up the electricity so the car can be lit. These sold for $47.04. big train stuff is often worth parting out. I think most of the cars I have, I just took them apart and sold them, took the wheels off, sold the wheels separately. I do better than selling them on their own. Sold 2 little Asmodee Splendor token promo things. I got $5 each for them. Same customer bought them both. I believe this came from overstock I bought from one of the game stores years ago. They had actually gotten lost for a long time and never got listed originally. Super Mario Galaxy, $10.80. This had actually been up for months without selling. Apparently, I listed it cheapest on the internet, and the price immediately shifted before it sold, and thus I was no longer the cheapest. And it didn't sell until I rechecked the prices. Is that all of it? Okay, I guess that's all of it. I'm sure there'll be more, though. Next up, Hustle at Home Mom. 1,000-item store, mostly closed, like many of the people on this list are. 10-month sell-through rate. Pretty great for a clothing store. Next up, Fat Grandma Finds. I'll put a link to her store right down in here because I feel like a lot of you might not know her channel. I feel like a lot of you might not be following her, and you probably need to, because with her well under 1,000 viewers, she's got a 9-month sell-through rate, which is beating most everybody you think is a guru. So you need to be watching her. Next up, Ginger Marvin. 1,500 item diverse store, 7-month sell-through rate. I think the diversity of the store is actually what has the sell-through rate being near the best on this list. All right, viewer Lynn bought an Ultimate Pokemon Christmas present lot. Gonna go ahead and toss them in an extra poster that's not normally in the lot as a bonus. They said, "Hey Paige, it looks like a real nice lot. Buying this for a 12-year-old boy who will be thrilled. I have 3 eBay accounts, but not stores. Main one is Chatty Dolls. But I'd love to hear what you think about that versus stores. Thanks for your great YouTube content. My husband and I are looking forward to watching you. Always a pleasure and informative. Lynn Murphy." Well, thanks, Lynn. And gonna go ahead and ship this out. You should have this by the time you see this video, because I don't think this video will be out until first Monday in December. And finally, in the number 1 spot, Angie Resells beat Ginger Marvin's out by just like 3 days on the sell-through rate. So she's like 6.9 months. Angie has an extremely diverse store, and I think she keeps her sell-through rate low because she does live YouTube auctions, and I know she's done Whatnot auctions in the past. Maybe she's still doing them. All right, hey, thanks for watching this. If there's any female YouTubers you think I missed, or specifically ones you think I missed that have less than 100,000 followers, then go ahead and post them in the comments. If you've got less than 100,000 followers, why don't you give this video a like and tell somebody else about my channel. Thanks, and hope to see you again soon.